Hey guys, welcome back. It is CALLOUS Invitational 3, Round 3 lower bracket action. Alright, so check out the description of this video before we begin. You guys can, from there, get into our CALLOUS Invitational 3 Discord server. It also has a link to the CALLOUS Invitational 3 thread if you guys want to check that out. And I want to remind you guys as well that we are accepting donations. They are strictly optional, but they are super, super, super appreciated. They help me and they help the tour tremendously, and we have received over $500 worth of real donations, and that is fantastic beyond anything that I ever thought this tour would get, and I super duper appreciate it. If you guys want to contribute to that, hit me up on Discord, let me know, and I will give you all the credit in the world that you absolutely deserve. In the meantime, let's get back to this set between Jimmy T and Charmflash. It is game 2, and Jimmy's got his back against the wall. Must win this game and a potential game 3 to not be eliminated. Here is the game. Going to switch sides for continuity. Charmflash will remain on the bottom as he was in the previous game. He's got a T-Tar lead against the Zapdos lead from Jimmy, who's going to get greedy, and he's going to stay in and just go T-Bolt. And he's going to only get a Fire Blast in return, so the greed is going to pay off here. He could have gotten nailed by a Rock Slide or an Ice Beam, a number of bad things there, but Fire Blast was all the T-Tar had there. Perhaps that indicates that Jimmy has a Dugtrio in the back and was willing to essentially trade 1-for-1, even if the T-Tar had, for example, been Choice Band and gone Rock Slide there. It still would have just died to the revenge kill from Dugtrio. So staying in there is either Jimmy being really greedy or he's got a Dougie in the back. Fortress switching into Lax here. Of note, the Lax pummeled the Gengar on the way in for 74%. And this looks just like a classic 4E stall from Charmflash. And there's two ways this can go usually. Swampert X is often Dugtrio, or it could be the double water team that was made originally by Undisputed and has been used a number of times by other players. The big one that comes to my mind is Eden's Embrace, who I know really likes that team, where the last two would be Swampert and Milotic, actually. So we'll see what ends up happening. Blissey comes in. There is Thunderbolt, 19%. Jimmy hasn't shown us much of anything. Zapdos and Lax, I mean, some kind of offensive team, probably. Oh, yeah, now it's a definite. There's Heracross, and that's going to switch into an Ice Beam, 27%. Heracross does have leftovers, we'll see. So that's going to rule out a lot of sets. He's not going to be Salic Berry. He's not going to be Choice Band. Yeah, Swords Dance makes a lot of sense, so we'll see if he is sub-Swords Dance or if he's straight Swords Dance 3 attacks. Either way, he's definitely dangerous here, and that is a 99% Mega Horn. Milo gets a Surf Off for what it's worth, but he's going to go straight down when combined with the Sand. That is essentially a one-hit KO there, and Jimmy takes the lead with the dangerous Heracross. He gets it out of the way, though. Gengar threatening the knockout. Ice Punch, the best thing he could do. Magneton takes it well. And Magneton does have leftovers as well. Blissey's going to be the switch in from Charmflash. And that's going to be met immediately by Lax. Jimmy anticipated that switch and got out ahead of it. Well played by him. See if he takes his opportunity to curse up, if he even has that option. We have seen only Shadow Ball. Now we've seen Earthquake. Could just be utility Lax. It could just be Curse 3 attacks here. Shadow Ball and Earthquake is either that really janky Curse Shadow Ball Earthquake rest set, or more likely it is some kind of utility Lax. Curse 3 attacks, or maybe it's just all 4 attacks. Just normal EQ Shadow Ball and boom. And he's just going for Earthquake against Fortress, which is actually doing more damage than the Fortress Earthquake is doing back. There are 2 layers of spikes down. He's now going to get the 3rd down. We've not seen a spinner from Jimmy, though he could still have one. And now he's got to be a little bit careful. Fortress could boom here. This is the obvious time to do it if he has it. Does Jimmy want to get his Lax blown up on? And that's a nice play for Charmflash. The boom is so obvious there, but he pulls back to Gengar instead just in case there's an Earthquake from Jimmy. And also it forces Jimmy to use his fodder there, where in reality he actually didn't have to because it wasn't a boom. But the thing that he tried to get blown up on, Jimmy that is, is the weakened Heracross that he thought he would get very little, if any, additional use out of. So he went to his fodder there, but Charmflash did not take the bait. So that was a really nice play from Charmflash, getting out ahead and knowing what Jimmy was going to do there. So good psychology there to know what the other guy was supposed to do there, making the play accordingly. He's going to switch to Gar again, and he's going to blanket Earthquake. That's not bad. So Gengar, again, if it has Boom, is a real threat here, but I don't know that Jimmy at this point can switch the Lax out, given how low it is. And I agree with Jimmy's play of staying in. I think it's really hard to switch Lax out there when it's only at 40% and there's 3 layers of spikes down, so we would have to take 25% on re-entry should it come in later. So I think he was resigned to his fate there. Gyarados gets shown by Jimmy. That poke, I feel, has been unusually popular in this tour. I don't have the spreadsheet out in front of me right now, nor is it updated at the time of this recording, but there has been what I feel to be a pretty heavy usage of Gyra. I mean, comparatively, compared to normal Gyra usage in this tour. I feel like it's definitely been a poke. Zapdos and Swampert here, staring each other down, protect, hidden power. I highly doubt that's a bluff. I think there's very little reason to go for that there if it's HP Ice. I think that it has to actually be Grass. Otherwise, there's just better things you could do there, like switching to the Gyra again. And he goes for it again, so I would believe him 100%. I'd be shocked if that weren't actually HP Grass. Pulls it back to his last poke. Previously unrevealed Meta. That is the last Pokemon to be revealed in this game. And Meta is gaining leftovers. An agility set, I think, would make a lot of sense given what we've seen so far. Goes Earthquake here. That probably rules out a mixed meta, so I think now if I'm Charmflash, I'm no longer afraid of Psychic or HP Grass here. Gyra comes in, and it's going to come in on an Earthquake, so it comes in completely for free there. That is good for Jimmy, though we still don't know what exactly the Gyra has. It looks like a challenging poke, given what we can see from Charmflash. It looks like the only real answer that Charmflash's team would have for a Gyarados, just generally speaking, would be to Thunderbolt it with Gar, blow up on it with Fortress, or maybe T-Tar can handle it, but not really, because T-Tar being paired with Fortress makes it a special Tar, which is not very equipped to handle a Gyarados. I mean, it could have like Thunderbolt in theory, but that just seems so janky. And the T-Tar is going to get foddered off here to an Earthquake. That brings us to a 3-4 situation. Swampert very low here. Meta's faster and threatening the knockout. Protect is obvious here, right? Just get free lefties. Why wouldn't you? And Jimmy's simply going for Earthquake again. If it is an Agiligrowth, I think now would have been the time to get that agility off, since the Protect there was very, very clear. But yeah, everything's really low other than the Bliss for Charmflash. Swampert and Fori have both seen better days, that is for sure. Now the Blissy's going to switch in. Hidden Power, 34%. Blissey can live another one, pending a crit, but what can it do back to Gyra is the real question. And Jimmy is not afraid. He goes straight Dragon Dance here. Ice Beam, the best thing he can muster. Fishing for the Desperation Freeze that does not come, and it looks like he's only going to have one more opportunity to find it. Hidden Power. No, he's going to have 0 more opportunities. That's just going to be a knockout, and that's going to be the game. Charmflash is going to get cleaned up by this Gyarados, and the same way Game 1 was relatively one-sided, favoring Charmflash, we're going to have a reverse situation in which Game 2 is relatively one-sided, favoring Jimmy T. And that, of course, is going to send us to a decisive Game 3 in which one of these players will be off to a 2-1 start, solid in this tour, and the other player will be eliminated. We'll see who gets what, and that is going to be coming up next. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video.